Actor friends, it's Michael Kostroff. You know, I love making these videos for you every week, and I love knowing that they're helpful. I This week we're going to talk about communications with your reps, which is something that I think actors wrestle with and struggle with a bunch. Um, some do's and don'ts, I guess, is what we're going to talk about. You know, I feel like a lot of you are afraid of your reps. You're scared. They're like they're sleeping giant. I don't want to bother them. If I wake them, they're going to dump me as a client. It's not the healthiest. And I guess I'm. If you sense some hesitation from me, it's that I have to factor in that I'm at a certain point in my career where I guess I sort of I get to communicate with my reps in a maybe a different way than I used to when I had no credits. You know, I get that. I get that. Um, and but I also think that being sheepish and thinking that I mean, you're a client. They signed you because they figure you're gonna make them some money, which means they believe in your work, uh, and it's your collaborator. It's your business partner. Also, the reality is, even though it doesn't feel like this, you hire them, you pay them. They're your employee in a way. It just doesn't. Of course, I understand the dynamic doesn't feel anything like that because there are so many of us actors, and we all want agents, and it's hard to get on their radar. But I guess this is going to be about staying away from the extremes. You know, if you're like, oh, sorry to bother you, this is not a comfortable way to hear from somebody. Sorry to bother with you. If you have any time, blah, blah, I wonder if I could, blah, 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 and tell me if this is annoying and all that stuff is really, it's just not pleasant to be around. I got to tell you. Um, it's also not pleasant to be around people who are high maintenance, who like the second they get out of their finish sending an audition, they go, any feedback? It's like well, I haven't even emailed it yet. Come on, you know. Uh, it's I by the way, I don't ask for feedback because I feel like the feedback is you get it or you don't, and I don't think that uh, casting directors should be pressed into the job of teaching you about auditioning or acting. That's not their job. They've got things to cast. Leave them alone. They'll let you know. Anyway, a little tangent there, but um, I think hounding your agents is it's so unpleasant, so unpleasant. In fact, putting them on the spot is really not good. And I'm going to suggest to you that you learn to avoid any language that suggests even remotely that they are not doing their job, because nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. If you write to your agent and you say, "It's been quiet," um, no auditions or something like that, or what's going on? Are you guys submitting me? I had a wonderful sarcastic agent in New York City. I love her. And if you said to her, Joanne, uh, there's no auditions, she would say, "Oh yeah, I had auditions. Actually, some job offers. I just didn't feel like sending them to you." Yeah. You know what it's like when I was a waiter? I was so snarky. When I was a waiter, people a table would call me over and say, "Excuse me, is our food ready yet?" I go, "Oh yeah, it's in the kitchen. I just didn't bring it out." No, of course it's not ready, but it's ready. I'll bring it. You know, um, um, that was New York, by the way. In my defense, it's expected. That kind of snark. But I think there are ways to learn to phrase inquiries in a way that doesn't put them on the defensive. I find agents get very defensive. Hey, what's going on? It's slow. You need new headshots. It's because they don't. Nobody wants to be uh, have it suggested that they're not doing their job. So I made a suggestion to one of my students the other week that he write to his agents and say, "What's with the casting directors? I know you guys are submitting, but what's going on? Are they just like not responsive?" That's so and so you ally yourself with your reps. Yes, it's manipulative. Have you met me? I'm not above that. Um, you ally yourself with them. Honestly, this kind of works well with the when you have a manager and an agent saying to your manager, what do you think about the agency? We haven't had auditions in forever. Oh, I know. They're not. They love to to sort of be allied against the other, or my manager is like, I don't know what's up with her. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, don't worry, we got you covered. And all it does is remind them of your presence, which is good, and doesn't put them on the defensive. Um, I have the kind of relationship with my agents, and again, I know you might not, where I typically call about nothing. Um, I don't want to call and say, "Hey, anything coming in for me?" Um, I, they don't produce. They're not. If things are slow, things are slow. I assume they're submitting me for things because that's how they make their money. Um, if you know, if a long time is going by and you're not getting auditions, I think the question for them is, uh, do you think we need? Do you think I need new headshots, or what's been the response to my reel, or by asking what's been the response, it assumes they've been doing their job, doing their thing. I hope this makes sense. Um, as always, I feel like I'm wandering off on tangents, but tough. You can turn this off at any time. So be creative. I think on the one hand, you don't need to say, "Hi, is there any possibility that you might have 5 minutes? I promise to be brief about." Skip all that shit. Say, "Hey, I wanted to ask you about something. When's a good time to jump on the phone?" Or whatever. With the assumption that you're in a relationship, in a business relationship, and that's okay to do. But also don't say, "What are you guys doing? I don't have any." It's really, really unpleasant. Um, and I feel like this is a good time to remind you that auditioning and not getting a part is the norm. Nothing's weird. Nothing's gone wrong. You don't need to have your agents call and find out what you did wrong, because you didn't do anything wrong. And the casting directors, who also are busy with other jobs, they've got other things to do, are going to say, "Oh, we just went a different way." They're going to give the simplest answer. Don't invest in that. Assume that you did great, and they just didn't pick you, and that's that. Because that's the normal thing. That's the normal thing that happens to me, and it's just the numbers. So, um, yeah, I think I think it's excellent to call your agent and say, "I just have to ask, have you seen Wicked? It's so good." Or, or did you see what this celebrity said about such and such? What's going on? You know, or like that. You don't have to alert them to oh, Marvel has a new series. Like, they know. They know. They know. They know. They got a lot of clients to take care of. So let me know if this is helpful. I just think you got to be thoughtful and put yourself in their shoes when communicating with your agents. And I hope this helps. Let me know. Talk to you next week. Bye.